नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादे पश्चात्तादेशतारिणे नमस्ते जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद जय हरिब श्री अद्वैत जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद जय श्री प्रभु गौरंग श्री अद्वैत जय गौर भक्त वृंद जय जय गौर भक्त वृंद जय हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरि बोल हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम Gauranga. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Riba, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Gauranga. Hare Rama, oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Deva Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, oh, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, oh, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Oh, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Oh, Hare Rama, Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Oh, Kishore, Jaya 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 Kishore. Oh, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Oh Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Oh Jai Jagannath Swami Jai Jagannath Oh Jai Baladeva Jai Subhadra Oh Jai Baladeva Jai Subhadra Oh Hare Krishna Oh Hare Krishna Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Oh Gauranita Jaya 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 Gauranita Oh Hare Krishna Oh Hare Krishna Oh Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol 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 Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंसा परिवाजक आचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रोता श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांता स्वामी शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंसा परिवाजक आचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रोता श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। नामाचार्य शिला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्णा गोपा गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। जमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। श्री श्री किशोर किशोरी की जय। जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताई की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Guru and Gauranga.
Was your Sonia Mataji? Okay. Your harmonium?
Yeah. Namaste Narasingaya. Praladalalayine. Hiranyakashipuvaksha. Shilatankalaye. Ito narsingo parato narsingo. Yato yato yami tato narsingo. Bahe narsingo, idaye narsingo. Narasingha Badim Sharanam Prapade. Avakara Kamala Varenakam Admuta Shingam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Mringam Keshavadeta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jagadish Hare, Jaya Jagadish Hare. Jagadish Narari Rupa, Jai Jagadish Hare, Jaya Jagadish Hare, Jaya Jagadish Hare. Jaya Narsimhadev, Jaya Narsimhadev, Jaya Narsimhadev, Jaya Narsimhadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. नरसिम्हा भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल।
Shishi Kishore Kishori Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees and friends. We can do something together. You raise your arms, everybody. Raise it very high. Take a deep breath, very deep. Fill your lungs completely. This is yoga. It's actually the yoga for this age of Kali. Very fascinating. So fill up yourself fully and be ready to chant loudly this Maha Mantra that is considered the Chintamani for this age, the touchstone. Sing loudly with me. Hare How's that feel? Good, no? It's very good. Thank you so much. On behalf of our beloved, beautiful deities, Sri Shri Kishore Kishori, Sri Sri Gaurnitai, Sri Jagannath, Sri Baladev, Srimati Shubhadra Maharani, on behalf of our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and on behalf of our beloved temple president, Her Grace Hemangi Mataji, I'd like to welcome you today to this Sunday feast. Thank you for being here. It's a wonderful time. It's summer. And of course, during summer, we have so many fantastic activities here at your temple, your ISKCON temple. We just finished, just right now, during the weekend, we have this fantastic convention here, homeschooling, that was organized by the temple devotees. And we have the opportunity to associate with one of the pioneers of homeschooling here in America and actually in the world of the Hare Krishna Society, Her Grace and Aruda Mataji, and also her sons, which were homeschooled by her, His Grace Radhika Raman Prabhu and His Grace Gopal Hari Prabhu. There's Gopal Hari. They are very well esteemed and respected devotees in our society. Today, our Sunday class is going to be given by Gopal Hari Prabhu. Both of them brilliant scholars and devotees. They're both professors in universities and authors. Anyway, amazing opportunity to have their association here. We just finished this convention very successfully with many parents who wanted to understand how to give a very balanced education to their children. So we're very grateful to have them here. Also, for you to put it in your calendar, I have the announcement here. Bhadra Purnima is coming. We give you an advance because this is a very special date. According to the Srimad Bhagavatam, in this day, Bhadra Purnima, who this year falls in September 13, mark it on. Because if you give the Srimad Bhagavatam as a gift on a golden throne to anyone, then you're guaranteed, as per the Srimad Bhagavatam, your liberation, going back home, back to Godhead. It happens just once a year that you have this window that is like, oh my God, I can do it. So please see our book table. You can in advance make an order or put your, reserve your Bhagavatam and take this nice opportunity. As you see, we have a beautiful garden that is being worked out, and we're very happy, and also we like you to enjoy the nice arrangement for sitting down, taking prasadam. Outside, in general, we have our farm devotee, Patraka Prabhu, selling vegetables there, so take advantage of that. Mark down also these Tuesdays, anyone who loves Harinam, the devotees are going to be taking part in this celebration in Foster Beach. That is going to be, I think, from 7 to 9. Anyway, they go through the night. That a great opportunity. A lot of people gather there, and we're going to be there doing Harinam. If you want to participate, you can ask in the front for Bhakta Daniel. Saturday, we're going to have His Grace Mukunda Datta Prabhu. Anyone knows here Mukunda Datta Prabhu? An amazing devotee, wonderful kirtanier, and a great scholar of the philosophy of bhakti. He's going to be doing kirtan at Moksha Yoga, and this is sponsored by the Bhakti Loft. So you can also find out on the book table. There's some posters there. That being said, I think we like to welcome Gopal Hari Prabhu with a loud Hari Bol. And today he's going to be speaking on Lamentations, lessons from a child saint. This is part of the series about Dhruva Maharaj. Thank you so much again for being here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yes, if you can, please, you can all move to the front of the speakers, especially the ladies that are sitting behind. You can sit on the other side. Thank you so much. Thank you. And come closer. As closer you can come, because more people are going to be trickling in. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Very nice to be here today at ISKCON Chicago. I live near Indianapolis, and His Grace Subal Prabhu has come to Indianapolis. A very wonderful and gentle sage, I should say. So thank you, Subal Prabhu, for your warm invitation. and hospitality. Thank you to all the devotees here at ISKCON Chicago for being so kind. As Prabhu said, we just finished a very nice convention on homeschooling and parenting. So thank you to all the families also who came for that. Krishna consciousness is a very holistic process. So Krishna consciousness is a spiritual process, it's a meditative process, but it's also a lifestyle. So devotees, they learn from the Srimad Bhagavatam on how to have Krishna conscious families, how to raise their children in Krishna consciousness. So today's topic actually fits in very well with that. It's on Dhruva Maharaj, who is a child saint, one of the many child saints in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And we'll be discussing overcoming lamentation, lessons from a child saint in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So as usual, before we begin this discussion on Bhagavatam, we always sing one Sanskrit song, this wonderful prayer called Jai Radha Madhav. So it's a very simple bhajan. Those of you who know the words, please repeat, and those who don't, it's easy to follow along. Please join in. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhare Jaya Girivaradhare Vallabha Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhare Jaya Girivaradhare Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Vraja Janaranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Vraja Janaranjana Jaya Yamuna Tiravana Chare Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Tiravana Chare Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Go Pramanandi. Shishi Radha Madhav ki, Shishi Kishore Kishori ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. So I understand that this month, the hero of the month that we're discussing on the Sunday classes is Dhruva Maharaj, the great personality Dhruva Maharaj. So before we start reading a verse from the Bhagavatam, we always recite one prayer, one mantra, one very ancient, wonderful mantra. And this mantra is all the more significant today because we are discussing the story of Dhruv Maharaj, as we'll see. So please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, why are we discussing these role models? I was thinking over this. The Sunday classes, they're going through different role models. And why is it so necessary for us to do this, to meditate or think about these role models? One of the reasons is because every person in this world needs a role model. Right? All of us, we need our own role models. We need our people who we can follow, who we can emulate. And growing up, I remember as a child, I would look for role models, right? Some, famous singer or some famous person would become a role model, right? And oftentimes when we are children or adults or men or women, we will look at for a role model who is like us. So if we're a child, we will look for a role model that is a child. And if we're a man as a man, a woman as a woman, so we have a tendency to look towards role models that are just like us. So the Srimad Bhagavatam is such a wonderful literature, such a nice literature, because it gives us role models of all stripes, of all different varieties. Right? We have adult role models, but we also have child role models. And we have a few children in the Bhagavatam who are role models, and one of them, the most favorite, you could say in some sense, one of the most favorite is Dhruva Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada, in the second canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, he says in one purport that how by reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, by studying this great literature of the Srimad Bhagavatam, a person can understand every psychological situation in the world. Wouldn't that be a nice thing? Right? There's so many psychological situations, family troubles, family situations, and work situations that we think about and we think, why are people acting in this way? Or this situation is so painful, how do I respond to this situation? Or this situation is so difficult, how do I understand this situation? Well, Srila Prabhupada assures us that if we read the Srimad Bhagavatam and the pages and the narratives of the Srimad Bhagavatam, then by reading them, we will understand, by the time we're done, we'll be able to understand every psychological situation in the world. This is because this material world, we think our story is so unique, right? Everyone has their own special story. But if we see, this material world it's a training ground. It's designed in such a way that most of us go through many similar experiences, right? Just like they say, there's about 20 faces in this world. And all of us were some combination of these 20 faces. And you can find your twin very easily. If you look around, just like 10 years ago, I met one devotee, Mahamuni. And when we saw each other, we almost fainted. Because he looked so much like me and I looked so much like him, and the way he laughed was so much like me. So there's like these 20 faces that science tells us, and all of us were some combination of these faces. And so we have different similar personalities, similar situations. People go through married life and they have the similar disagreements, and they have children and the children have similar problems. This is why movies are so, oftentimes people watch them so much, because they can relate with their life with what's happening in the movie. So the Srimad Bhagavatam, it gives us narrations, it gives us stories that emulate, that describe pretty much every situation that we'll find in this world. And they will tell us those situations through the life of a great devotee, so that we can learn, how did this great devotee respond to that particular situation? How did this devotee see this situation, understand it, and how did they respond to it? So that the Bhagavatam is giving us those examples so that we can respond to those situations in similar ways. We can find these role models. We can say, this devotee is in a similar situation like me, and I can follow in their footsteps. So I heard that last time you had a basic narration of the entire story of Dhruva Maharaj. So I won't go through the entire story this time, but we'll try to focus on some of the key points, which is difficult to do in an hour or 40 minutes. But we'll just focus on a few of them. Dhruva Maharaj's story in particular, it shows us that how does a devotee respond to a situation of great lamentation, of great distress. And particularly the you could say, the pain or the distress that comes from family troubles, right? All of us can relate with that. With a family dispute, a family trouble. They once did a study, a statistic, and they asked people, what is the source of your greatest sorrow? They asked people, where did your greatest sorrow come from? And what did you think people responded? What was the cause of your greatest pain in life? Relationships, right? Relationships. And it says, well, and more specifically, for the wife, it was the husband. The husband, it was the wife. It was the people who we love the most. That was the significant part. The people who we love the most, they were oftentimes the greatest source of our pain. So Dhruva Maharaj, we find him in a similar situation. Dhruva and Uttama, they're two stepbrothers. And their father is Uttanapad. Who is Uttanapad? Uttanapad is the emperor of the entire world. The emperor of the entire world, imagine. And Uttanapad, being the king, being a great emperor, he has two wives, which was not uncommon at that time. The kings would have many wives because wives was also a way of making alliances. So he had two wives. One of them was Suruchi and the other one was Suniti. Dhruva was the child of Suniti. Right? He was the child of Suniti, and his stepmother Surichi was the mother of Uttam, his stepbrother. Now, the only problem was that Surichi, his stepmother, was the favorite wife of the king. Right? He's the favorite wife. And his mother, unknown to him, obviously he's just a small child, a 5-year-old boy, his mother was the less favorite wife of the king. And so one time, Dhruva and Uttam, they were playing in the king's palace, where in the king's room, where the king was sitting on his throne. And they were both playing, and as children do, after they were playing, they sort of got tired. And Uttam immediately climbed on the lap of his father to sit on his lap. So he was sitting on a high throne, like Srila Prabhupada here, sitting on a throne. And Uttama just climbed up and sat on his father's lap. Dhruva, also being the same age and his brother, he also tried to climb up on the lap of his father. However, when he tried, the king did not give him so much support to come up on his lap. And Dhruva's stepmother, Surichi, was standing next to the king. And she noticed this. She noticed how the king was favoring her child as opposed to her stepson, Dhruva. And so, taking advantage of the situation, Surichi says some very harsh words to Dhruva. She tells him, she says, that you, Dhruva, are unfortunate. She says, you are unfortunate. Why? Because I am the dearest wife of the king. And in this lifetime, you cannot hope to sit on the lap of your father. That is, you cannot hope for the throne. You cannot sit on his lap or his throne. Rather, if you at all desire to sit on the lap of your father, you must in this life go out and worship the Supreme Lord, perform great austerities, worship Him, please Him, and after you're done pleasing Him, then you should die, and in your next life, you should take birth from my womb. And if you take birth from my womb, then in your next life, you can hope to sit on the lap of your father. So such cruel words, right? Such harsh words. And she says this to Dhruva, and Uttanapad, being affectionate to Surichi, he doesn't protest. He remains silent at that time. He remains silent. He doesn't say anything to Surichi or to Dhruva. And Dhruva, his eyes full of tears, understanding what his stepmother just said, he looks up at the face of his father. But the face of his father there's no softness there. Father doesn't say anything. So then he becomes completely distraught. His eyes start to water, his eyes are burning. And he leaves the room and he goes and he runs to his mother, Suniti. And as he's running, again, he's crying and he's wailing. And as he reaches his mother's lap, his mother, seeing her child, she also begins to cry. And Dhruva, unable to speak, he is simply crying. And the other attendants in the palace, her attendants, they tell Suniti everything that took place, the conversation between Surichi and Dhruva that had taken place. And when she hears this, she also, her heart burns, like it's described in the Bhagavatam, like a dry leaf. Her face and her heart becomes wrinkled, and her eyes become filled with tears. So just imagine such a painful situation, right? Both for Dhruva, but also for his mother. What could be more painful? We hear this story, but put ourselves in that same shoes, in those shoes, that she has a husband, but her husband loves her co-wife more than her. Dhruva knows that his father loves his stepmother more than his own mother. What could be more painful? So at this point, Dhruva, he's burning with anger. His eyes are still red. He's a Kshatriya boy. And his mother is also feeling distraught. And at this point, Suniti, being a great Vaishnava and being the mother of Dhruva, she begins to speak to Dhruva to try to alleviate his lamentation. Right? Just like mothers would do. Small child is crying. So how to alleviate that lamentation? And here we will see her words, what she tells Dhruva Maharaj. Many times the story of Dhruva is, we take it so that it's ordinary, just a child who wanted the pole star. But the deep messages of the Bhagavatam are often in the conversations that take place in these great devotees. So when she speaks to console her child, but it's not ordinary speech. And so now we will hear her words to Dhruva Maharaj, and I'll recite this verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, where she speaks her instructions to Dhruva. So please listen carefully. It's up here on the board. You can repeat after me. Atishta tattata vimatsarastvam. Atishta tattata vimatsarastvam. Uktam samatrapi yad avyalikam. Uktam samatrapi yad avyalikam. Aradhaya dhoksha japada padmam. Aradhaya dhoksha japada padmam. Yadichyase dhyasanamuttammo yatha. Yadichyase dhyasanamuttammo yatha. Translation: My dear boy, whatever has been spoken by Surichi, your stepmother, although very harsh to hear, is factual. Therefore, if you desire at all to sit on the same throne as your stepbrother Uttama, then give up your envious attitude and immediately try to execute the instructions of your stepmother. Without further delay, you must engage yourself in worshipping the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. The harsh words used by Surichi to her stepson were true, because unless one is favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one cannot achieve any success in life. Man proposes and God disposes. Suniti, the mother of Dhruva, agreed with her co-wife's advice that Dhruva engage himself in the worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Indirectly, the words of Surichi were a benediction for Dhruva Maharaj, for because of the influence of his stepmother's words, he became a great devotee. Om Jnanam Timrandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So here we see that Suniti is telling her son Dhruva. She's not lamenting, she's not flattering him. She's telling him that Dhruva, the only person in this world who can solve this predicament that we're in, is in fact the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one else in this world can help us. in this situation. No one can help you in this situation. Why is this? Why is this? Why can no one else help? Because his father is the king, the emperor of the entire world. Right? He's the emperor of the entire world, and he's the king of the entire world. So therefore, in this situation, no one else can help you other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, so therefore, she's telling him that therefore, give up your lamentation and go and find the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Go and find him, seek him out, and please him, because by pleasing the Supreme Lord, only then can you find the solution to your trouble. Then you can find the solution to your trouble. But she says, she gives a very important instruction here. She says that before you go, she says, first of all, give up your envy towards your stepbrother and your stepmother. Give up your feelings of envy towards them, and then go out and find the Supreme Lord. Because unless you give up your envy, you won't be successful in your mission to find the Supreme Lord. Now the question is this, that why is she telling Dhruva to give up the envious attitude? Because after all, it was her stepmother, right, who was envious of Dhruva. Dhruva is an innocent child. He wants to rise to the throne of his father, sit on his lap. He was playing with Uttam. But, so, the Surichi, the stepmother, is the person who's at fault. Dhruva is not at fault. But she tells him that you give up your envy and then go find the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada explains the reason for this is because Dhruva was feeling that I want to show them that this is so unjust. I want to show them that actually I'm not an ordinary person, that they cannot mistreat me like this, and therefore I will take revenge. Right? I will try to show them, I will prove the point, I will establish the point that I'm a great personality and I'm the child of such a great mother. Right? And in this way, he was in return feeling envious of his stepbrother and his stepmother. And he was feeling that I want this throne rather than my stepbrother. And so he wanted to remove his stepmother and his stepbrother to take upon the throne. Now, she then says, she explained to him that, well, you have to give up this feeling of enviousness. But why is this the case? She gives him a very good reason. She says in the next verse that your great-grandfather Brahma became Brahma, this creator of this universe. Why? Because he pleased the Lord. Your great-grandfather is a creator of this universe because he performed great austerities. He pleased the Lord, and therefore he became the creator of this universe. Your grandfather, Swayambhuva Manu, became Manu because he pleased the Lord. And your father, Uttanapad, became the king of this world. Uttanapad, why? Because he pleased the Lord. And so therefore, anyone who gains anything in this world, anyone who gains any wonderful thing in this world, any great position, any favor, any special treatment, they gain it not because the world is unjust or unfair, or because something is wrong, but rather because they please the Lord. At some point in time in their life, they please the Lord. That's why they gain that position or that favor. So therefore she tells him, if you also please the Lord, if you also perform austerities, if you also please the Lord, you can also get what you want in your heart and in your mind. So therefore, for this reason, the instruction that the Bhagavatam is giving, the instruction that she is giving to Dhruva Maharaj, is that there's no reason to be jealous, to be envious of any one of us, of anyone. Because anyone who gets anything in this world simply gets it because they please the Lord. Now, just think, in terms of, there's always some competitiveness between siblings, between brothers, sisters, whereas, this one's better, this one's less. The great philosopher Confucius, he said that there's nothing like equality in this world on the material level. There's always inequality. We'll always find someone who's better than us, someone who's less than us. So there's always so much competition between friend and friend, between brother and brother, at school or at home. And brothers, they fight amongst themselves. Friends, they fight amongst themselves due to this competition. But Queen Suniti is giving us this powerful solution, right? This powerful method that a person who is in knowledge, a child who is in knowledge, he can think, why am I being envious of this person? They gained what they have because they pleased the Lord. The Lord is fair. The solution, if I also want that, is that I should please the Lord, and I will also get whatever is my heart's desire. So Prabhupada actually explains in one place, he says that there's two things. There's enviousness and there's jealousness, right? There's envy and there's jealousy. Envy, and they're two different things. Envy means that when we see someone has a nice pair of shoes, right? A nice gold bedecked shoes, and we see those shoes, envy says that we feel in our heart, I want those shoes. And that person should walk barefoot. I want those shoes, but then that person should walk without shoes. We see a car, a nice car that a friend has. We want that car, but more important than getting that car is that I should, slash the tires of that person's car. That's envy. Jealousy is when we see someone having a nice car or a nice pair of shoes, and we say, that's such a nice vehicle, and I'll work very hard, and I'll also get that vehicle. I also want that thing. So Prabhupada says that both are not so good, but still jealousy is okay, but envy is not. And this is the message that Dhruva's mother is giving to Dhruva Maharaj. That she's telling him that you want the kingdom, that's very good. I also want justice. Right? So she's also in favor of justice. People say justice should be there. But the key point here, she says, is that, but don't wish ill for your stepbrother and your stepmother. Why? Because she says that person, the person who wishes ill for another person, that same misfortune, that same ill that we wish for the other person will come upon us. So she says, yes, you fight for justice, you get your justice, you get also the kingdom that you want, but do it in a honorable way. Go and find the Supreme Lord. Please the Supreme Lord. And once you please Him, then all of your desires will be fulfilled. The Supreme Lord can fulfill your desires and give a kingdom to you that is even greater than your Father's kingdom. So this narration has so many powerful messages. And the first powerful message that we find in this narration is that it's a message that gives us a very powerful formula by which we can free ourselves from envy. And when we free ourselves from envy, then most of the lamentation is gone. Right? When we lament in this world, most of our lamentation is our anger towards the other person. So the devotee, through knowledge, they can give up that anger. And then they can think, okay, now what do I need to do? What do I need to do now to get my goal? Surrender unto the Supreme Lord. Right? Another message that we find in this wonderful verse here is that the first spiritual master of the child is who? The mother, right? The mother and the father, the parents. Here, she could have been a sentimental mother, and she could have, scratched his back, and he could have scratched her back, and they could have cried and cried for days on end. She could have said, just stay home and stay within my arms. But she says, no. She says, this is the proper path. She tells Dhruva, go and find the Supreme Lord. So Dhruva then asks his mother, where can I find him? He's a 5-year-old boy. He's like, where can I find him? And she says, I don't really know, but I've heard that he can be found in the forest. Why? Because the great sages, they're living in the forest. So she says, go towards the forest, and there you may find someone who can help you find the Supreme Lord. So imagine her 5-year-old little boy, her only child, and she's instructing him to go to the forest. Prabhupada writes in one of the purpose, she says, this is the quality of a great parent. Queen Suniti is giving the example that she's such a great parent that she's not thinking for a moment about herself, that I will lose my child, but rather she's doing that which is the highest benefit for her own child. And because of her courage, because of her great devotion to the Supreme Lord, later on she becomes one of the greatest mothers in the history of the world. Right? Krishna rewards her. She gets the greatest benediction, right? As we see. I don't want to spoil the story for you. But she goes back home, back to Godhead, back to Krishna's abode. So she becomes the mother of the greatest devotee of the Lord. And the third lesson that we learn from this particular verse is that that Queen Suniti does not tell Dhruva Maharaj that give up your desire, your material desire. Suniti is clearly a very great Vaishnava, right? Great devotee. It's interesting that she doesn't say, "Oh, just be happy. Don't be the king. Give up your desire." And she doesn't chastise him for having that material desire, because when we have material desires, right, we cannot simply just give them up, but rather we have to purify those desires, right? She tells him, give up your envy, but she gives him a method by which he can fulfill his desires. But how? She can fulfill it by taking shelter of the Supreme Lord. Right? So another great lesson that we learn from this is the message of the Gita, which is Yat karoshi yad ashnashi yad jahosi tadasyat. A very famous, simple verse of the Gita, which says that whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever activities you perform, do as an offering to me. Many times we think that when we come to spiritual life, then spiritual life means leaving everything, leaving our family, leaving our society, leaving our job, going to the forest, just, becoming a loser. No, no, no. The devotee of the Lord is the greatest personality, right? We can do everything that we want to do. We can have our profession, our family. We can have the best family. But whatever we do, we engage it in the service of the Lord. Right? We take shelter of the Lord to fulfill our desires in this world. So even if we have a material desire, Krishna says, surrender unto me, and then He will take care of us. So how much time do we have left? I don't have a watch here. 10 minutes, okay. So this is a wonderful point to stop. After this, Dhruva Maharaj goes to the forest, and there, as he's progressing to the forest, he meets a great sage, Narad Muni. Narad Muni, who becomes a spiritual master. And Narad Muni, when he meets him, very quickly I'll just tell this, he gives him an instruction. The first instruction that he gives him is he says, go back home. Don't worry about all of this. And he says that go back home. Why? Because I'll give you a formula for happiness. He says that a very simple formula for happiness, he says, that don't worry about all this honor and dishonor, honor and insult. He says, simply go back home and do three things. When you find someone who's more advanced than you, offer them respect and take instruction from them. When you find someone who's equal to you, then make friendship with them. And if you find someone lesser than you, then show them compassion, uplift them, show them mercy. In this way, he says, if you follow this principle, you'll be happy in every circumstance. After that, Dhruva says, he says, my dear Lord, my spiritual master, he says, I cannot follow your instruction. This is too difficult for me. Exemplifying the ideal disciple, he tells his spiritual master honestly that I cannot follow this instruction. He's very honest with his spiritual master. But he says, give me some other instruction that I can follow. Because I will follow the instruction, but just give something that I can do. I can't go back home. I'm a kshatriya. I'll burn with anger there. So then Narad Muni says, okay, go to the forest and perform great austerities. And there chant this mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And there then you will see the Supreme Lord without delay. So Dhruva Maharaj does this. He performs great austerities. And then he sees the Lord face to face after just 6 months, right? 6 months. He doesn't eat anything. He doesn't drink anything. He simply chants this mantra, Om Namo Narayanaya. And by chanting this, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and by chanting this, he sees Lord Vishnu face to face. Srila Prabhupada says, similarly, if we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, like our spiritual master has told us, we can also expect to see the Supreme Lord face to face. And in one place, and after one song, Prabhupada says, one Vaishnava bhajan, he says that the goal of this Krishna consciousness movement, he says, is to see the Supreme Lord face to face. He says, like I am talking to you and you are talking to me. Similarly, he says, if we follow this process, we will get the opportunity to see the Supreme Lord. Dhruva Maharaj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So I was thinking, yes, to leave a few minutes and open it up for questions. If anyone has any comments or questions, we have some senior Vaishnavas here. Any thoughts?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Uh, like if I leave my child at my home
Mm.
alone is
Mm.
a crime for me.
Uh-huh.
Asking a child to go to forest is still like I have a hard time wrapping my head
Yes,
around it.
absolutely. Thank you for bringing up this point. We might get a ticket if we do that, if we leave our child in the at home alone. Uh, and so therefore, Prabhupada writes actually that the austerities that Dhruva Maharaj did during his time are not possible today. We cannot do those same austerities. However, we can do austerities. And so, for this day and age, our spiritual master, the scriptures, the Bhagavad Gita, gives us austerities that we can do in today's time. Right? They give us austerities that are for us for this present day and age. So the principle is still the same. That to find a solution to our lamentation, we must take shelter of the Lord. Then we can overcome any difficult situation in this world. Now, what austerities we do, that may be different for different people. And the second thing is that the instructions that Suniti gives to Dhruva Maharaj, those are also the same for us. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
So
Krishna.
once Dhruv Maharaj sees Lord Krishna,
Mm.
then what happens? Does he still want what he started with,
Mm.
or what happens next?
Ah, very nice. So, what happens next? When he sees the Supreme Lord, then Dhruva Maharaj, he actually feels very embarrassed. He feels very embarrassed. He sees the Supreme Lord, and the Supreme Lord is so beautiful. Dhruva Maharaj says that I came out searching for broken pieces of glass, but what I found is jewels, that I found gemstones, right? And he says the Supreme Lord is like a gemstone. And now that I found you, he tells Krishna, I don't want anything else. I don't want this kingdom anymore. I don't want this palace. I simply want your pure devotional service to the Lord. Now, the only problem is that Lord Vishnu is there, Krishna is there, and he tells Dhruva, he says, that you worship me for a great palace. And he says, since you worship me for that reason, he says, I must give you that palace. Because he says that if I don't give you that palace, then people will say, this little child came to the forest, performed great austerities to get this kingdom, and just see Krishna. He at the end didn't even give him his palace. Right? It'll be bad PR. It'll be bad rapport for Krishna. Right? That we have this big personality, and at the end he leaves his devotees like this. So he says, because you asked me for this, I still must give you this. And he says that you will go back and you will rule your father's kingdom for 36,000 years. And after you rule that kingdom, then you will get a kingdom that's even greater than Lord Brahma's. You will become the king of the pole star. The pole star is Dhruvtara. That's where Dhruva is the king. And furthermore, Lord Vishnu says, because you are my unalloyed devotee, he says that I will be your personal bodyguard there while you are king. So you'll never have any difficulty there. If Krishna is our bodyguard, then how can there be any difficulty there? So Krishna, he gives his own self to his pure devotees. And he showed this in this way, that not only did he give him pure devotion for himself, but he gave him everything that Dhruva desired plus more. One of the great lessons of the Dhruva story is that Dhruva and his mother, they transformed an unfortunate situation into the most fortunate situation. And that's the great lesson that we can learn, is that every single one of us has an unfortunate situation sometime in our life. But through the power of devotion, through the power of bhakti, we can take any situation and transform it into the most fortunate situation. So yes. Any other questions, thoughts? Yes.
In some examples, from his pure devotees, he takes away their possessions or in that circumstance, how do you understand? Here, Dhruv Maharaj didn't want it.
Yes.
Krishna gave him.
Yes.
But some devotees he takes away. So.
Yes. It's such a nice question. The question is that, well, in some situations, we see that for his devotees, Krishna takes away everything that they have. In the case of Dhruva Maharaj, he made him into a king. But in the case, for example, the Pandavas, they lost their children, a whole battle happened, and they lost everything. And so often we see this is the case with the devotees. So Queen Kunti, who's the mother of the Pandavas, a great devotee of the Lord, she sings this very beautiful verse. Janmaishvarya Shuta Shribhir Edamana Madapuman Naivarhatya Vidhatum Vai Twamakinchana Gocharam. In this verse, she says that, my Lord, this is the queen of the world, Queen Kunti, the mother of the Pandavas, the mother of the greatest children on the planet at that time, the mother of Arjuna. She tells Krishna that who can approach you with feeling? She says only that person can approach you with feeling who is not in pursuance, who is not trying to pursue janma, high birth, aishvarya, opulence, shri, beauty, and education. One who's on the path for these great opulences, that person cannot approach you with sincere feeling. Why? Because they think that they have a lot. They have their own insurance policy, their own stash. Krishna is secondary. Then who can approach you? She says that we can only approach you when we are akinchana gocharam, when we are completely surrendered unto you, when we are soul surrendered unto you, when we feel completely materially exhausted, when we realize that in this material world there's nothing. Actually, everything that is of value in this world is Krishna. So, Dhruva Maharaj, in Dhruva Maharaj's case, he saw the Supreme Lord. He was already in love with the Supreme Lord. He was already a pure devotee, therefore Krishna gave him everything. But sometimes, in order to increase the devotion of the devotee, Krishna will first take away what they have. And then once he takes away what they have, then he'll give everything to them. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in his commentary in the Srimad Bhagavatam, he says that the first shower of Krishna's mercy, his sweet shower, is suffering or pain. Right? Krishna sometimes gives difficulties or painful situations to his devotees. In this way, they become very deeply attached to him. And then, once they become attached to him, then his second shower is the shower of pure bhakti rasa, devotion to Krishna, where Krishna will shower his pure devotion onto the devotee. So, Krishna sometimes takes things, and that's his mercy, and sometimes he gives things, and that's his mercy. But in either case, the devotee is convinced that it is only Krishna's mercy. Both things are Krishna's mercy alone. Bhishma Dev, at the end of the Kurukshetra battle, when the whole battle has happened, right? Very difficult time. So many people have died, all these things. Then the Pandavas, they come to him when he's lying there on the bed of arrows. And Maharaj Yudhishthira particularly is very distraught because he's a soft-hearted devotee. He's seen this battle and he's very unhappy. He feels that because of me, this whole thing happened. So he goes to Bhishma Dev for solace. And there Bhishma Dev tells Maharaj Yudhishthira, he says that the plan of the Lord is perfect. And he says, this was the plan of the Lord. Whatever happened, Krishna was there with you. This was the plan of the Lord. He says, the plan of the Lord is perfect. However, no one can know the plan of the Lord. Right? The plan of the Lord is meant to be followed, but we cannot know it in full. So how Krishna guides his devotees, how he brings them closer to him, is very mystical. Narad Muni, when he goes to Dwarka, he speaks to Krishna, and Krishna asks Narad Muni. He says, "How are the Pandavas, my great devotees, doing?" And Narad Muni says, "They're doing good." And he says, "The only thing that surprises me," he says, "is the more difficulties you give them, which clearly we know that you're giving them these difficulties, the more difficulties you give them, the closer they come to you, the closer they get to you." Right? So Krishna, in this way, draws the devotee closer to him more and more. Out of time? Okay. Any other? Yes.
Prabhu, in time of difficulties, what should be our mood and prayers to Krishna? Because I know it's very easy to go others' way,
Yeah.
and it takes time to put ourselves together. And
Yes, yes.
please enlighten.
Very nice question. So, question is, in times of difficulties, what should we do? So, the great devotees are doing this. What should we do? So, um, this is actually the message of the Dhruva Maharaj narration, that in times of great difficulty, in times of need, the advanced devotee will not ask the Lord for anything. Right? They know that Krishna is within my heart. He will take care of me. However, most of us, we have to be honest with ourselves. We're not on that level, right? We're not quite there. So, in those times of difficulties, we should take refuge in the Lord's devotees. Right? We don't have the direct connection with Krishna, but we should take refuge in the Lord's devotees. Like in the case of Dhruva Maharaj, right? He went to his mother. Now, it was his good fortune that his mother was a great devotee of the Lord. But being a small child, that's the only person to go to. So he went to his mother. And then after that, due to the good instruction of his mother, then he goes to Narad Muni. And there Narad Muni gives him the perfect advice. So by the mercy of the devotees and their guidance, we can cross over the most difficult difficulties. So Prabhupada says the devotee does two things. The first thing is that he takes shelter of the devotees, and the second thing is that he offers obeisances to the Lord. Rather than becoming angry with the Lord, he offers obeisances to the Lord. He takes further shelter of the Lord. Again, like a small child, right? I have an 18-month-old daughter. And when her mother gets angry at her, which is not so often, but when she gets angry at her, then she cries, and she'll go away crying, and then what will happen? She'll come right back to her mother. Because she knows at the end, my mother is my only refuge. No one else can help me. So the same thing is in the case of the devotee, that the devotee will always take shelter of Krishna. And he knows that Krishna has a plan, but I can't understand that plan. It might be a very difficult plan also, that I'll never understand. But the Lord's plan is perfect, right? We should have that faith. So Krishna in the Gita, he says, Chaturvidha bhajante mam. That four types of people come to me. Those four types of people are who? Those who are distressed, those who are inquisitive, those who are in need of money, and those who know the absolute truth, right? And he says all four are pious souls. All four are pious. Why? Because even though they're coming to the Lord for something, asking something, God, give us our daily bread, or God, please help me, but still they're coming to Krishna for it. So therefore they're pious. But ultimately we should come to Krishna only for love. We should not come to Krishna, please increase my bank balance. Please give me a 4-car garage and a Mercedes. But we should come to Krishna for out of love. So that's devotee is never a businessman with Krishna. Just like there's this one little story that one little boy, he was from India. He was studying in Scotland, and he was studying in Scotland. The family had just moved from Scotland from India to Scotland, and his name was Raju. So he was studying there in the Scottish school that was a Christian school, and he had come from India. He was born and brought up in the Vedic culture, and so one time the school teacher asked the question to the class. He said that students, you tell me who is the most famous person in this world. Who is the most famous person in this world? And she says that whichever student will give the correct answer, I'll give them $5. So they'll get a reward of £5. Actually, £5, right? So different students try different things. One student put up his hand and he said, Donald Trump. And when he said, no, the teacher said, no, not Donald Trump. Never. He's not the most, maybe infamous, but not famous. So another person said, who's a famous person in this world? Mahatma Gandhi. He says, no, not Mahatma Gandhi. So then Raju is sitting way in the back, and he raises his hand, and he says, teacher, I know the answer. And teacher says, what's the answer, Raju? He says, teacher, it's Lord Jesus Christ. Lord Jesus Christ is the most famous person. And Her teacher goes up to Raju and says, "Very good job, Raju. You gave the correct answer. Lord Jesus Christ is the most famous person. And here you get $5 for your correct answer." And Raju is very happy, teacher is very happy. But then she turns over to him, he says, "But Raju, you're from India, right? You worship Krishna." He says, "Yes, yes." So she says, "Why didn't you say Krishna is the most famous person in the world?" And Raju said, "Yes, yes, teacher, Krishna is the most famous. But business is business." You have to do what you have to do to get the $5, right? So the devotee doesn't go to Krishna for business, right? We shouldn't make our devotion our business. Then religion becomes very boring. We go to Krishna because we want to make him our most dear friend, right? Like Dhruva Maharaj, he makes Krishna his most dear friend, right? His most lovable object. Thank you very much. I'll stop at this point. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Dhruva Maharaj ki.
We are very grateful and honored that tonight's Sunday feast lecture was given by Gopala Hari, because like Dhruva, he too has a wonderful mother who gave him good instructions. So we're very honored that you're here. Thank you very, very much, you and Radhika Raman Prabhu. Thank you for spending the weekend with us. The next piece of action, I guess, in the Sunday feast is we invite you upstairs for dinner. If the line is long, you're welcome to go downstairs. There is, I was asked to tell you, dosa special. So if you're in mind for dosas, you go downstairs. You want amazing Sunday feast dinner, you go upstairs. If you're unable to decide, husband goes up, wife goes down, somehow you figure it out, okay? So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रसाय भूतले श्रीमते वेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे शून्यवादी शतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि भक्तवृंदा Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nittai Gaura Hari Mon, Hari Mon, Hari Mon, Nittai Gaura Hari Mon, Hari Mon, Hari Mon, Hari Mon, Nittai Gaura Hari Mon.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's good. I think it's good. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Jaya Baladev, Jaya Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Jaya Subhadra. Nitai Hari Bol, Nitai Hari Bol, Nitai Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Hari Bol, Nitai Hari Bol, Nitai Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, all together, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare all together Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Nitai Gaur Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Ramana Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare सब बोलिए Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gaur Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, Krishna, chant now. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Nitai Go, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Nitai Gora Hariba, 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 Nitai Gora Hariba. Nitai Gora Hariba, 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 Nitai Gora Hariba. Nitai Gora. Nitai Gora Hariba, 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 Nitai Gora Hariba. Jaya, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya 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 Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Nitai Gora Hariba, 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 Nitai Gora Hariba. Go, Himanandi. Shri Kishore Kishori ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Go, Himanandi. Very nice.
You're reading spiritual warrior in this at least the first time I heard it was he's hanging around. Oh, sorry. Did you want to leave now? But you have your own car too. Yes.